So when we look at household hazardous waste and things that ultimately can impact the river, we think of things that are potentially flammable, that are toxic or poisonous to us, things that are corrosive, that will burn us or burn our skin, and then some of the other things that perhaps might be reactive. One of the things that we quote oftentimes is that 1 gallon of oil will potentially contaminate 1 million gallons of water. Many years ago, the accepted practice was dispose of it down the drain. Oftentimes our water treatment facilities or wastewater treatment facilities don't have the ability to filter and pull that material out. And generally, stormwater is not processed. It does not go through a wastewater treatment plant before it's discharged into the creeks and streams. So when you have the attitude and say, well, I'll just dump it in the water, they'll treat it and they'll process it, it doesn't always happen that way. If you dump it on the ground, it's ultimately going to wind up in the water. Perhaps you've seen times where we have major rains or major flooding events and the water gets really muddy. So that mud and dark discoloration is an indication to us that we've got problems. Stuff is flowing into the water sources. Nashville has 2 great sources for household hazardous waste disposal. One is the East Convenience Center near Trinity Lane and Briley Parkway. The other is in the south area of Nashville in the Harding Place area. Latex paint can be discarded in the solid waste stream, but there's some things that we need to do with latex paint before we throw it out. Oil-based paint gives us some challenge. It needs to be managed at the household hazardous waste facilities. Paint thinner is one of those hazardous materials that we need to deal with because oftentimes they are flammable. So they need to be managed at the HHW facilities. Mineral spirits generates flammable materials as well. So that would be an HHW location disposal site. Antifreeze is an issue that we need to, again, manage at the HHW facilities. Oftentimes there are auto repair shops or parts shops that will also take antifreeze back. Rubber cement, other adhesives can be discarded in the trash once they're dried up. Rechargeable batteries can be managed through the HHW program. Another battery that we're concerned about is the lithium battery. They also need to be managed at an HHW facility. The alkaline batteries that we have can be discarded in the regular trash. When you buy a new car battery, there is a core charge that you pay for the old car battery. When you buy the new car battery, take it back, and then often the HHW facilities will also take back car batteries. Cooking oil in many locations can be accepted. I think the HHW facilities have a container where they can use that. Do not throw the cooking oil down the drain because it solidifies and stops up the drain. It would be better to be solidified and discarded in the trash if it's not an acceptable and available recycling option. Pharmaceuticals should be discarded in drug take-back programs. You can find these on websites at the law enforcement and sheriff departments in many of the counties that we have. Also, again, checking the website for the proper location.